Is China. It's a really big country in Asia, and it sits between two rivers, the Huang River, which is also called the Yellow River, and the Yangtze. In 5000 BCE, farmers settled in villages. Over the years, many villages created large kingdoms led by the dynasties. A dynasty is a series of rulers from the same family that rule over China. If the family dies, a new family takes over. Today, we are going to dive deep into ancient China's history and the kingdoms and dynasty that led to China today. First, we go down to the Shang Dynasty, which formed in 1700 BCE and lasted for 600 years. This dynasty was known for the earliest written records from oracle bones. Oracle bones are animal bones or turtle shells with written Chinese characters. Priests would write questions with the gods and apply heat. When the heat would crack, the bones would be read, what the gods would tell them about the future. This became a start to Chinese writing. Now we go into the second dynasty, the Zhou dynasties. The first ruler of the Zhou dynasty is the King Wu. The Zhou dynasty ruled for over 800 years after being conquered by the Qin. The reason they ruled for so long is because the Mandate of Heaven allowed them to rule. The Mandate of Heaven was the highest force of nature. So, for example, if there was a natural disaster, like a hurricane, it was seen as an omen, and the current dynasty lost the Mandate of Heaven and its right to stay in power. But during their ruling, most of the time they had trouble keeping their kingdom united, mostly because of its size. During the Zhou dynasty, China entered an era of chaos, which is total disorder and confusion. This time became known as the Warring States, a period where small fights became wars and millions of people died. Over the time, loyalty of the Zhou disappeared as stronger states conquered weaker states. In their fightings, they used a strategy called the Art of War. The Art of War was created by Sun Tzu, and the Art of War was a military strategy that used your enemy's weakness to your advantage. Fighting went on for years, but in 256 BCE, the last Zhou ruler was overthrown. In 221 BCE, then started the Qin dynasty. The Qin ruler decided that king was too small of a title, so then the Qin ruler Shi Huangdi decided to call himself the first emperor. He is remembered as a cruel leader because of his harsh laws. For example, a thief could face punishment as harsh as having his nose or feet cut off. During his power, Shi created a centralized government. He organized China into 36 provinces. Each province divided into countries and provinces leaders reported to central government, who reported to the emperor. His dynasty fell 3 years after his death due to his harsh laws. Last is the Han dynasty. The Han dynasty was probably the most successful in resources from all of their achievements, like calligraphy, which was a detailed, beautiful writing, and their beautiful lacquerware, which is wood pottery that had a protective coating made from sap or a special tree. Another one of their achievements was acupuncture. Acupuncture is a therapy that involves you having to stab needles into yourself. And last but not least is the seismometer, which detects earthquakes. And they are also known for their government. And reasons their government was so good is because of their civil service. The civil service is a system of government that was selected for their skill and knowledge. And you were selected from a series of questions to prove that you were worthy. And something that was huge that the Han did was create the Silk Road. The Silk Road was a trading route that all the provinces used to trade with one another. Overall, Han China, it was a mixture of people, cultures, and inventions, but the country became more unified by this dynasty.